Hey everyone, and welcome to the show. Have you ever felt like your world just got flipped upside down by like a secret? You know that feeling, right? When everything you thought you knew just crumbles away.
Mm.
Well, today we are going to dive into a psychological thriller that explores just that.
Oh, exciting.
Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on more deep dives like this.
Absolutely.
Okay, so today we're going to be looking at His Other Life by Anna E. Collins. You can find a link to that down in the description. But in a nutshell, it's a story about a woman named Isla, and she is grappling with grief and guilt 2 years after her husband Jonah died in a car accident. But here's the thing. As she starts digging deeper, she finds out there's way more to Jonah than she ever knew.
Ooh, that's a juicy hook.
Right. It's like a whole web of hidden truth that just completely shatter her reality. So what do you think about that setup?
Well, I think what really grabs me about His Other Life is how it blends that suspense of a thriller with a deep dive into grief, betrayal, and ultimately forgiveness.
Yes, exactly. It's like it's not just about figuring out what happened, but it's understanding the why, like the human element behind it all.
Right, exactly. The motivations.
Yes. And the book really drops us right into Isla's world. You know, she's trying to find her footing, volunteering for Meals on Wheels.
Oh, wow.
And that's when she meets Maverick, one of her clients. He's got tattoos all over his face.
Whoa. Okay.
He's got this whole mysterious vibe. He even says he died for 3 minutes during surgery.
Oh, wow. That's a strong
I
opening.
know. What are your thoughts on that first encounter?
Well, I think it's really clever of Collins to bring in Maverick so early because he becomes like this catalyst for Isla's journey, you know? He kind of represents facing death and the unknown. And that near-death experience he had really pushes Isla to question everything she thinks she knows about life and death and all the secrets people keep.
That is so true. And all that questioning really ramps up as Isla deals with her mom, Nancy, who decides to sell their family home and move to Arizona. Talk about pressure. Isla is forced to deal with Jonah's death, and now she has to make big decisions about her own future.
It definitely adds urgency to her search for the truth.
And that quest takes a huge turn when Isla finds Jonah's old camera.
Ooh, what's on it?
It's full of photos from their last trip together, and they show a side of Jonah she's never seen before. There's possible drinking, secretive behavior, and even a note mentioning someone named Gemma.
Okay, that's definitely suspicious.
Right. It just throws everything she thought she knew about him into question. Like the camera becomes this window into his hidden life.
Yeah, forcing her to reevaluate their whole relationship.
Exactly. And so Isla knows she can't ignore these clues. So she goes on a road trip with Maverick and his friend Louise to retrace Jonah's steps. What do you think about that journey?
Well, it's more than just a road trip. It's symbolic, right? It's Isla literally following Jonah's path, but also metaphorically revisiting their past and trying to figure out his secret life.
That's such a good point. And during the trip, they go to the hotel where Isla and Jonah stayed, and the owner recognizes her. He offers condolences, which is nice, but something feels really off,
I can see how that would be unsettling.
like something bigger is going on.
Yeah, and Collins is great at building suspense that way. It's all those little things that create doubt. It makes you think the truth is more complicated than you initially thought.
And then, bam, we find out Jonah was having an affair with Gemma, a dental hygienist. It's a total shock. What does that do to the story?
Well, it confirms Isla's suspicions. But it's also more than that. It's like the whole image of Jonah shatters. It makes you think about how well we really know anyone.
And the revelations keep coming. Isla confronts Gemma and finds out that Gemma has a daughter. And guess what? Jonah is the father.
Whoa. Ooh, talk about a plot twist. How does that revelation complicate everything?
Well, it adds another layer of betrayal to the story. It's not just Isla's pain anymore. It's about this innocent child caught in the middle.
And just when you think it can't get more twisted, Isla stumbles upon letters from Maverick to her grandmother. They were in love. And get this, Maverick is Isla's biological grandfather. Whoa, hold on. So now we've got secrets about her husband and her family all coming out at once.
Exactly. It connects everything together. It shows how secrets can impact families for generations.
Yeah.
It makes you think about your own family, right?
Yeah.
Like what secrets might be hiding in your past.
It really does. I'm hooked. What happens next?
Well, that is a story for our next part.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere.
I'm ready. It's amazing how the author brings in Gemma's side of the story, right? We get to see what was happening 3 years before the accident.
Yeah, during the pandemic.
Right. Gemma's a dental hygienist, and she's working with a super small team because of COVID, and that's when Jonah walks in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's totally terrified of dentists.
It's almost ironic, right?
Huh?
This random meeting during a pandemic ends up changing everything.
Yeah. It's crazy how life works. They
Yeah.
actually connect over working at amusement parks as teenagers.
Oh, wow. That's wild. Like a little shared history sparks this whole thing.
And it gets even more intense when Jonah gets sick with COVID. He's all alone, isolated in this job rental in Portland, and reaches out to Gemma.
He's vulnerable.
Exactly. And Gemma, being the kind soul she is, she brings him groceries and medicine.
So sweet.
Right. But it's also more than that. It's like this act of kindness deepens their bond, you know?
Yeah, it's like blurring the lines between just caring and something more.
Exactly. And Collins is so good at capturing those subtle shifts in relationships.
Totally. So as Jonah gets better, they start talking more and more.
Right. And it turns into a full-blown emotional affair.
Whoa.
I know. They're sharing all these secrets and feelings they can't with anyone else.
It's dangerous territory.
Totally. They're both looking for escape, you know?
Like they're unhappy with their lives.
Right. Jonah wants validation outside of his marriage, and Gemma is drawn to his attention.
And eventually, all that virtual connection turns physical.
Oh, wow. They meet up?
Yeah, they can't resist the chemistry. They have all these stolen moments and secret rendezvous.
Do you think the affair was inevitable, given their situation?
It's hard to say, right? It's so complex. Collins doesn't give you an easy answer. Jonah and Gemma are both flawed. They make choices based on loneliness and desire, you know?
Yeah.
It makes you really think about the nature of love and infidelity and those gray areas in relationships.
And what about Gemma? How does she feel about all of this?
Well, Gemma knows things are complicated. She tries to convince herself it's just a fling, but I think she wants more.
Yeah, she's caught between wanting love and being the other woman.
Exactly. And Jonah is torn between guilt and attraction. He likes the excitement Gemma brings, but he doesn't want to deal with the consequences,
So he's living a double life.
which never ends well.
No, definitely not. It's all going to come crashing down eventually.
And it does. They go on this weekend trip to Bend, and everything falls apart. Gemma's insecure, Jonah drinks too much, and the
Yeah.
trip ends badly.
Oh, no.
They both feel lost and confused. And then Christmas comes, and Jonah visits Gemma. But his gift to her is this generic spa basket. It's so impersonal compared to the gift she got him.
Ouch. That says a lot.
Like their levels of investment are totally different.
It's a sign that things aren't right.
And then Jonah drops a bombshell.
Hmm.
He and Isla are thinking about having a baby.
Oh, wow.
Devastating, right? It's like all Gemma's hopes are crushed.
And it really solidifies her role as the other woman.
Yeah. Heartbroken, Gemma decides to end things. But guess what?
What?
She finds out she's pregnant.
Whoa, hold on. This just got even more complicated.
I know. The stakes are so high now. It's not just about an affair anymore. It's about a child.
This changes everything.
Gemma tries to reach Jonah to tell him about the baby before he can confess to Isla.
Oh, no. Does she get through to him?
She doesn't. The accident happens first.
Oh, wow. What a crazy twist of fate.
It really makes you think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Life is so unpredictable. It's just heartbreaking how it all happens, you know. It makes you wonder how things could go so wrong so fast. And we've seen both Isla's and Gemma's points of view, but what really hits hard in his other life is how the author brings their stories together for like a really emotional ending.
Right. It's like we see Isla trying to uncover the truth, but it's not just about that. It's about her dealing with grief, trying to understand Jonah, and ultimately, you know, finding a way to heal. And that leads her to Gemma.
Yeah, and that meeting, when they finally come face to face, it's so powerful. You'd think there would be anger, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even a huge fight.
You would, but instead it's like this shared feeling of sadness and understanding.
It's amazing. Instead of being bitter or blaming each other, Isla and Gemma find comfort in each other's pain.
It shows the power of empathy. They both see how complicated everything is, how Jonah's choices affected them both.
And Isla, who was so focused on figuring out Jonah's secrets, she starts to see the bigger picture.
Right. It's not just about her loss anymore.
It's about Josie, Jonah's daughter. And Isla realizes she wants to be a part of Josie's future.
That's what I love about Isla's character. She goes beyond her own pain and embraces this new family, showing that family can be found in unexpected ways.
And what about Maverick? His story gets even more interesting when we find out he's been sick with this serious illness, myelodysplastic syndrome.
Right. And he kept it from Isla during their road trip.
Yeah. It shows how even this tough guy has his own struggles.
It makes you think about how we all have hidden burdens, you know?
And when Isla finds out, she doesn't hesitate to offer her help.
That's the bond they built, a real connection that goes deeper than blood.
They become like a chosen family. Isla, who is searching for a place to belong, finds acceptance and love with Maverick.
He becomes this source of strength for her as she figures out her life.
And in the end, we see Isla embracing this new family, welcoming Josie and Maverick into her life.
It's a beautiful image of healing and hope, you know. It shows how love and forgiveness can help us overcome even the toughest challenges.
It's a really satisfying end to a story that makes you think about relationships, grief, and how life can take unexpected turns. His other life is more than just a thriller, it's a story that stays with you.
Definitely. And that's what makes these deep dives so great, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about what happens. It's about exploring those themes, the characters, the emotions that stick with you long after you finish the book. So tell us what you think. What parts of his other life resonated with you? Share your thoughts in the comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of books. We'll see you next time.